Hello, Facebook friends and family, people out there. This is Tim and Lisa, and we wanted to come to you tonight to let you know about our weird morning that we had. We're gonna post some pictures later, and y'all gonna want to know what happened there. So we figured we would pop on and do a video because the details are too long to type. So Tim and I woke up at 7:30 this morning getting ready to just start our day. Tim was still in bed. I had gone to the bathroom, and all of a sudden we hear a crash. And Tim starts calling for me, wanting to know if I was okay. He thought I maybe fell in the bathroom. And it's really weird because I was thinking to myself, even if I had fallen in the bathroom, I would not have made a noise that big. But I'm sure he just wanted to make sure I was okay. So I told him I was all right. What I thought maybe happened is that the kids had ran into their bathroom, slipped or something, and knocked the shower curtain down. I was just really trying to figure out what would make a crash that big. So I grabbed my phone, because you always grab your phone before you leave your bedroom, I guess. And I opened the door to my room, and I go to walk out, and when I look out, I go, oh my God. And Tim is like, what? I was like, there's a deer in the living room. And he was like, what? I was like, there's a deer in the living room. So at this point, David comes running out of the bedroom down the hall. And I'm like, go back in your room. Close the door. Stay in your room. So he runs back in his room. And so really what I was thinking next is that the door was slightly open. And I thought my cat had gotten out. So I was concerned that the cat had gotten out of the house. Tim helped me to refocus on the actual problem that was at hand and the fact that we had a deer in our house. So I was like, okay, who do we call? Do we call animal control? Do we call, find the people who come and get animals out of your house, whoever they are? He was like, just call the police. And so
911.
I thought that I was cool under pressure, but I asked my husband what the non-emergency phone number was, and he was like, Lisa, this is an emergency, call 911. And I'm like, oh, right, okay, call 911. So after I fumbled with my phone to figure out how to make a phone call, because, that's something we don't actually do on our phones anymore, I called 911. The operator answered. He asked me our address. I gave it to him. He asked me my name. Gave it to him. He asked me the nature of the emergency. I told him, I was like, I'm not crazy. And he's like, okay, ma'am. I was like, there's a deer in my house. There was a brief silence. And then he was like, how did the deer get in your house? And I was like, apparently it busted through our front door. And so he's like, okay, is anybody hurt? I was like, nope, we're all behind the doors in our bedroom. So he asked, had the deer been aggressive toward anybody? And I was like, nope, he's just kind of standing there looking at me right now. And so he's like, okay, well, we're sending somebody out. So I was like, how long is it going to be before they get here? He's like, I don't know. I've already dispatched them. It should be soon. So I was like, okay. He was like, well, call us back if anything changes. And he hung up. And I was like, aren't they supposed to stay on the phone with you until help arrives? And because that's what they do on TV, right? But he didn't. He hung up. And I mean, Tim was here, the kids were in the house, but I felt alone at that moment, because they're supposed to stay on there and make sure, if they hear something in the background, they can relay it to the officers on the way. I mean, maybe I watched too many cop shows. But anyway, so the deer was walking around the house. I called my mother. I told her about it. My father was like, if I was there, we have deer chops for breakfast. So he was probably right. But then finally the police got there. They sent about 6 officers out, and I could hear them talking around the perimeter of the house. They came in with their flashlights, and I was like, the deer's in the kitchen. And so they go into the kitchen, and I hear one of them say, there's a deer in the kitchen. And I'm thinking to myself, that's what I've been trying to tell everybody. But I don't think anybody really believed me until they got there and saw that there was really a deer in the kitchen. So since they were there, they were like shining the light. It was finally enough light in the house for me to take pictures. So I will post pictures for everybody. But I knew that if I post pictures with no explanation, there would be lots of questions. So I just wanted to put all the questions out there. They kind of corralled the deer to get him to run back out the door, and that's what he did. And then we made a report. We filed it with our homeowner's insurance, and we did all the cleanup and everything, and called the kids out. And they were like, "Mom, what happened?" And we were like, "There was a deer in our house." And they were like, "What? No way." So we showed them the pictures and everything. So it was a morning full of high adrenaline and disbelief and nerves and everything. But it is the end of the day now, and I think we can all kind of settle down a little bit, enjoy a good night's sleep, and remember this day for a really, really long time. So we just want to let you guys know about our exciting morning. So pictures will follow, and thanks for listening to our wild story.